Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never, ever alone. So now, here on Invisible Condition, we get it. Okay, I was born with an invisible condition myself. We know that life can be tough. You know, mine happens to require brain surgery every once in a while. That can get a little dicey sometimes. I get it that things can be tough with an invisible condition. The other thing is there's always hope, though. There's always hope. And so if you are in a place that you've lost your hope, join us. Join us. And if you're not sure how, reach out. I'd love to help you. Hope is better. The land of hope is better. So join us. It's a beautiful place here. I want to talk to you real quick about our nonprofit, which is called Hydro with Hope. Hydro with Hope helps people with the condition I was born with, which is hydrocephalus. And that condition frequently requires brain surgery. And a lot of people with this condition have been, living unpredictable lives and having brain surgery on average every 2 to 3 years. That's way too often. And so we created some resources for that community. I love to kind of walk alongside families that are going through that. And my wife and I love to speak around the country and around the world and tell stories of hope that life does not have to end because you're having brain surgery. It could just be the beginning. And so we are at a place now where we feel like we've grown past our capability. And so we're actually expanding our board right now. And so if you know anybody that would be an amazing board member, I would love to hear from you. And so if you could just drop me an email at invisiblecondition@e360tv.com, that would be awesome. And then the other thing is you could go to hydrowithhope.com and donate if you'd like, which we appreciate as well. Every dollar counts. Every dollar you donate gets us closer to getting another one of those resources into somebody's hands that needs it. So, and it's on the same page, a little bit different page actually. If you are a fan of our show and you know somebody that would be an amazing advertiser or sponsor, same thing. Give them that email address and have them get in touch with me. I would love to talk to them. Love to get the word out about their company, their service, their whatever they're doing through several avenues of advertising options on our show. So love to talk to them about that. Now, I would like to bring on our guest. He is amazing, and I've known him for a couple of years now, and we finally got him on the show. So here we are. Finally got Joel. So Joel Holc is actually coming on here in a minute, and he is a transformational coach, author, and energy healer dedicated to helping others reclaim freedom in health, wealth, and purpose. He's also part of. I met him through you saw NRG Studios, right? That's our studio sponsor, and that's actually an international networking group that I'm a part of. That if anybody's interested, I'd love to tell you more about it. I met Joel through NRG, so Network Referral Group. So anyway, it's a great group. He's an amazing person. His book is called The Eggshell Effect, and it shares his personal journey of awakening and transformation that we will definitely talk about during the show. So don't worry. I'm going to give you a chance to see the cover of the book so you know what you're ordering if you go on Amazon to check it out. So today, Joel empowers individuals and families to achieve wellness and financial freedom through conscious living. And his mission is to inspire others to live authentically and create lives of abundance and purpose. Don't we all want that? Let's bring Joel on and see where this story goes. Joel.
Hey, Jeff, good morning. Great seeing you, buddy.
You too. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I do have one question that I like to ask everybody right off the bat before we get started. Diving into your story, I know you've had some health stuff. You've had some bouts with some stuff that we'll get into, and in the worst of the times there that were the darkest and the most painful and the most, you're in the muck. How do you still maintain hope?
So I think I was born like that. I think that I think I was. Obviously we'll talk about the book more, but it was one thing and another thing and another thing. But when you say, hey, in the worst moments, I don't know if in the worst moments I really maintain hope. I don't know if I don't know if it would be fair to say that. As soon as you said it took me to times where I couldn't walk, and I would lay in bed and I would be in so much pain, and I would be. I was for many years. I mean, most of my parenting life, I was a single parent, and having two young kids, and I had to keep moving regardless of how much pain I had. I had no choice. So I think that I didn't have any choice. And when I was in so much pain, I'm sure that there were moments that I just had to keep moving, not necessarily from hope, just from had no choice.
Yeah.
And just go through the pain and I just had no choice. And I'm sure that once I started moving and things got a little bit better, then I was a little bit hopeful. I can't say that when I was down, like in the lower moments of my life, I'm sure there were times that I was hopeless. I am pretty sure that there were times that I was hopeless.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, I get it, man. Good answer. I like it. I've been there, man. I can relate. Yes. When you don't think you're going to be able to get off the floor, because you're in so much pain. I have been face down on the floor in unimaginable pain, and it's rough. So
I remember laying in bed for days, and I would not eat and drink because the pain to get up to go to the bathroom was more painful than suffering the hunger and the thirst.
Yep.
So obviously today, and for many years, I know how terrible thing. The last thing that you want to do to your body is to starve it and don't bring liquid into the body. But it was easier to suffer from hunger and thirst than to get up and to go to the bathroom. So I don't know if in that moment I was hopeful, but I think that they had no choice.
Right.
It's probably would be a better answer. I just had no choice.
I get it, man. You and I can relate to that in some ways, not because of the same condition, but I feel like a lot of us with invisible conditions, especially ones that were for years at a time. Yeah, we can all kind of relate to that feeling, So great. So that condition that you are talking about, you were diagnosed with, I believe in 2009, I think is what I remembered. And it was multiple sclerosis. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. So and eventually, I mean, you're talking about being in bed, and you were in a wheelchair for a while. Like, what was those early days? Like you got that diagnosis, and what did that do to you? I mean, diagnosis like that, some people say diagnosis is not that important, but some people are like, no, I needed that, of what I was going through. What was that like?
So I actually remember like yesterday when my doctor called me, and I actually had a friend doctor that helped me through all this process. And I remember where I was. I remember that it was a dark cloud went all over me in one end, and in the other end, it was in a sense a little bit of freedom, because now, in a sense, at that time, I was heavily trust the conventional medicine. That I say, great, at least now we know what we're working with. So at least now there is a little bit hope. And obviously I understood about the diagnosis that, that it's fairly hopeless hope. And but at least I knew what I'm dealing with, because the unknown part was for a long time of like, what's going on? Why am I feeling like that? So the unknown was a big part of feeling unsafe. And then eventually when I received the phone call and I received the diagnosis, and then I went to the doctors and then started basically feeling, eventually in the beginning, feeling better with the conventional medicines.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of relief for a short period of time.
Yeah. Good. I mean, that's relief for a short period of time is better than no period of time. I get that. So yeah, it's there were some times in the last 10, 12 years that I would take an hour of relief, and just soak it up, because I was so excited to not be in constant pain for an hour, so even little reprieves are good. So so
just to be clear, Jeff, I was never in a wheelchair. I was walking with a cane.
Oh, you're walking with a cane. Okay.
My doctor told me that within 10 years I will be living in a wheelchair, and so this was the future that he projected for me. And when I was walking with the cane, and I have.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, I've been working with a cane for many years now.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you for clarifying that. That's good.
Sure.
Good call. Well, so you mentioned that you and I have so much in common with this. You said something about being in survival for years, survival mode for years, and you had no choice. You just had to do it. And most of your decisions came from a place of survival and maybe fear. If you didn't do it, what would happen? If you didn't just press on. How did that constant state of survival show up? How did that show up to you in your body, in your relationships, in your businesses that you were doing? I mean, I know how it showed up for me. How did that do that for you?
Great question. How far back you want to go?
I'll let you pick.
Okay. So let's talk about the book for a second, because the book really diving into this question a lot. Okay. So the answering your question straightforward, from age 7, I've been living in a survival mechanism from fear.
Yeah.
Okay. At that time, I was not diagnosed with the MS. At that time, I was labeled as, I don't know if we can use these words on TV, but I was labeled as extremely special needs. Back then, long time ago, they did not give this kind of,
I know the word you're thinking of, and it's not really politically correct these days.
Correct. It's not politically correct to use this word, but this is what I was spoken as of. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened when I finished first grade, and all the kids complete first grade and were welcome to go to second grade, I got held back to do first grade again. And I remember the day, and I remember, not exactly, I remember the experience. It's still in my memory today. That the teacher walked around the classroom and gave all the kids the report card and the diploma to finish in first grade and welcome to second grade. On my diploma, where it say welcome to second grade, there was a black marker say, Joel, you have to do first grade again.
Oh man.
As a 7-year-old, my instinct was smart kids going to second grade and not smart kids. It's not the word that they use. have to go to do first grade again. At that moment, and this is what the book is about, it's the energy of fear. At that moment, my life got kidnapped by fear, and every reaction, and it's occur as a decision, but it wasn't really a decision. But every reaction or decision that I made from that moment and on, it was just to cover this effect of this moment of being singled out, of being being held back, being disconnected from my friends, being labeled in my own eyes as not a smart kid. And so eventually this energy, in my belief and in my understanding of my body and my energy and my vibration, eventually that moment just kept growing and growing, because all my life I lived with the secret that I'm not smart. And I was embarrassed, and eventually I was diagnosed with dyslexia. But by the time that I was labeled with dyslexia, it was in 8th grade. I mean, when I finished 1st grade on the second time, I was not any better off than I was on the first time. But they say, hey, we can't keep him in forever. Like, they had to let him go. But just around 8th grade, this is really where the technology. And again, I grew up in Israel. It's just different times that we're living in today. Today, I don't think it will take so long for something like this to be diagnosed.
No.
I will be, next month, I will be 58. So this is 51 years ago. So it was a long, long time ago. So by the time that I actually will start getting the right help, I was so far behind in education. I was so far behind. Like, it was just trying to catch up. But eventually, and took me many, 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 many years. And I would say that in the last probably 10 years or so, that I realized that intelligent and knowing how to read and write have nothing what to do with each other.
Yes.
I know a lot of people that know how to read and write. I don't know if I can call them intelligent.
Yeah, no, it's true. There's book smarts, and then there's street smarts, and then there's everything else, right?
Yeah. So answering your question, my survival mechanism started at age 7, and from that moment on, everything that I did was coming from this energy of surviving. And I believe that eventually I got sick just because I lived in a secret and lived in a shame. I had to think 10 steps ahead every time that I got involved in anything.
Yeah.
For one reason, and one reason only, to hide my secret that I did not know how to read and write. Like, I was terrified that people will know that.
Sure. So that becomes all consuming. You're always looking around, always wondering who knows. And I bet they already know. Look at them. Look at the look they just gave me.
Correct. Why did they say that? Why did they say that? Now, worse than that, Jeff, is when people would come to me and say, Joel, because again, it's at the time I thought that knowing read and write had connection with smart and intelligent. I remember when people would come to me and say, Joel, you're pretty smart. You create this, you create that. When people would say, Joel, you're pretty smart, in my mind is, I fool you too. Don't you know that I'm stupid? So even I could not even receive compliments, because in my mind, I just hid my secret well enough for them not to see my true intelligence. But they saw me as they saw me, and I could not see it.
Yeah. That is rough, man. And I can relate to that in some ways. When you're in that situation, you start to read into everything somebody says. You never take anything at face value, right? There's always an underlying agenda. There's always that's not what they really mean. What they really mean is, what I'm insecure about myself. They see right through me. They don't, but that's how it feels, right? So
for sure.
Yeah. That's, oh man, this is so, and I'm sure we're actually going to go to a break here in a second, but I do want to address the audience, because I'm sure there are people out there that are seeing this going, oh my gosh, yes, this is so relatable. If you're watching, I would invite you, if you're watching out there, if you're on E360 or Apple TV or Roku or wherever you are, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, it's super easy to comment. So if there's anything that we talk about, if there's anything that Joel says or that I say or whatever that you want to comment on, a light bulb goes off, or you have a question about or something, please drop a question in the chat, in the comments, right, in Facebook or YouTube or anything like that, and we can interact with you and get back to you on that. And if you want to check in with Joel, we'll have a way for you to do that a little bit later. But we're going to go to a break right now, and then we'll be back. And I want to kind of turn the tides a little bit and talk about we've got the story now, but you're helping so many people right now, and with what you're doing, and I want to kind of shift into that when we come back. So everybody stick around, don't go anywhere, and you don't want to miss the rest of this story. So we'll see you in just a minute. Hey everybody, I saw you sooner than a minute, didn't I? I wanted to talk to you for a minute about one of our sponsors, and that sponsor is Roast to Order Coffee. I love Mike at Roast to Order Coffee. Okay, I have been a coffee nerd. I'm not ashamed to say it. I've been a coffee nerd for years now, and absolutely love great coffee. You have a bag of coffee, doesn't have a roast date on it that's within the last couple of weeks, forget about it. I'm not touching it. I like fresh coffee. That's why I like Roast to Order, because they get it. They roast it fresh, they ship it to your door, and Mike he listens to his customers, which I love. Not every company does that. He listens to his customers, and he has for years. And so they said, hey, we need this. He said, okay, let's come up with it. So he's always coming up with new amazing varieties, flavors, types of coffee, types of ways to prepare your coffee. I love using my coffee maker. Other people like using other methods. Some people like using the Keurig, right? With the cups, that you just stick in there. He listens. He's got all of it. He can help you no matter what. So whether you are somebody that loves like a light roast from Ethiopia, or espresso, or decaf, or flavored coffee, he's got you covered. He even has gift cards and coffee subscriptions. Hint, hint. We're in fourth quarter now. Christmas is coming fast. So coffee subscriptions. I would love a coffee subscription for Christmas if my family is listening. So use this QR code to place your order, and you'll get 20% off your first order. So, all right. Just want to make sure that you guys had that information so that you can order some for Christmas. And we'll see you in just a minute.
Hey there. Every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code, and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Are you being priced out of healthcare? Tired of the prices skyrocketing and having to go to doctors dictated by a network? We feel your pain and have the solution, a nonprofit approach that is ethical and affordable. Take a moment to learn about a way that works better and feels better than health insurance.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Greg Russell. I'm the host of TechnologyTuesday.com. You can find us on the Conscious Business TV network every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the latest resources to help you make more money in your business. Join us on E360 TV. Come on.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Joel, thank you for being here. This is awesome. Always a pleasure to have you anywhere near me so we can chat. I absolutely love it.
I appreciate you, brother.
So this is always fun, no matter where I see you. If it's, I still haven't seen you. I've never met you in person. We gotta figure out a way to change that. I swear.
It's a small world. It's we can get there.
For for the last 2 years. I've seen you on all these networking calls and stuff, and here we are again on a screen together. So I said before the break, I wanted to shift a little bit and talk about a little more about how you're helping people in multiple ways. I mean, you've got multiple businesses. One of them, I mean, you've got the book, you speak, you do all kinds of stuff. The one thing that I wanted to throw that out there, and you're helping people find freedom, basically, physically, emotionally, financially. That's your gig now, and I love that you're giving back in that way, because a lot of people that are feeling pain, it's so hard to focus on others, and so once you get past that, you just exploded and you're just rocking it. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, where did that come from, and what are you doing?
Great. So around 2009, I think, maybe 2008, I don't remember exactly, around that time, I went to a self-awareness class. Okay. At the time, I was extremely in pain. Being in between 1 to 10, being at 8 was when I felt relief. Okay.
Jeez. Yeah.
And I went to this class, and it was about 100 people in the class, and I couldn't stand too long. I couldn't sit too long. I couldn't. The only position for me to be in less pain is if I will lay down in a certain way. And at the time, I was working with a cane. And I could not sit on a regular chairs, like this, being a 90 degrees between my legs and my knees. Like I couldn't do that. So I always had to sit on the edge of a bar stool, like my legs almost straight, and I'm just leaning. And everybody else had a regular chair. So obviously I was the only one with this chair. And the lady that ran the group, she pointed out at me, and basically she had a microphone, and people will go and speak in different areas of the room. And she asked me, what's wrong with you? Like, this was the question, like, what's going on with you? Okay.
It's always a fun question. Yeah.
What's
the matter with you?
What's wrong with you? And I assumed that she asked me about physically. I did not tell her everything that's wrong with me. I just assumed that she asked me about my physical condition.
Right. Yeah.
And at the time, I used words that I don't use anymore. Okay. What I told her is, I have MS. Okay. I don't say, like, even just saying it right now, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Okay. Yeah. But I say I have MS. And she looked at me and she said, you brought this sickness on yourself.
Oh.
Now, I had no clue what she's talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
This statement changed my life, Jeff.
Good. Yeah.
And now I have seen her speaking with other people before. Like, this lady did not take prisoners. Like, if you try to negotiate, if you try, like, she had the power, she was on stage, she was an effective, she's probably still effective woman. And I did not have the tools to battle her statement. Now, so instead of battling with her, my response was, yeah, I know. Like, I have no clue what she's talking about. Okay. But, and say, yes, I know. Few months later, this statement came back to my life. And I say, what if she was correct? And I brought it on myself. If I am so powerful to make myself sick, what is on the flip side? I am powerful to make myself healthy.
Yes. So
this statement, as I saw your face, as my probably face was back then, and in 2009, it was the most important. I remember a lot of things from this event, but it was 3 days. 99.9%, I don't remember. This statement changed my life.
Yeah.
And once I realized that I made myself sick and I looked into this, I say, great. It's a good thing, because if I made myself sick, I can make myself healthy.
Yes.
And this is where my doors to self-healing begin. Now, obviously, for me to understand the self-healing, I need to understand how I made myself sick in the first place. And I just shared about it earlier a little bit. This is just a tip of the iceberg of really what made myself sick. Know that the energy of fear controlled my life and controlling most people's life. You know, when I realized the effect that the fear energy had in my life, most people live from the energy of fear. And you know, when we pray, Jeff, when we're putting our hands together, the reason that we do that is because we are putting together our mind, body, and soul into one.
Nice.
This is right. So we cannot treat our body in one way, our mind in one way, and our soul in one way. If they're not in alignment, it's not going to work.
Right.
Okay.
It's true.
And then I start working on every area of my life, my body, my mind, and my soul, to heal myself, to make sure that when I do that, I'm in alignment.
Nice.
Because before that, I used to do that and it's never worked. Like it was never in alignment. And obviously there are people, you know, like yourself, you were born with a certain condition. There are people that are born with certain conditions, but there are people like myself that picking up these conditions as life goes on. So what I help people is to heal themselves, body, mind, and soul. Because once we understand the impact that the fear energy have in our life, we can complete this, like this moment that the teacher gave me the report card and say, you stay here for another year. For her, it was just another day at work.
Yeah.
For me, it was the pivot moment in my life. And I am thankful that it happened. Okay, I'm great because I am who I am today thanks to that moment.
Yes.
I will not be the same person today if this moment did not happen. Maybe I will be different, not good or bad, worse, it would make no difference. I will be a different person.
Yeah.
So we all have a moment like that our life getting kidnapped by fear, including people that are born with a certain conditions that have nothing what to do with their energy, but they have a moment like that when they realize that for me to survive life, I need to be that.
Right. Well, you're right. There comes a time in everybody's life, whether they have a condition or not, or whether they was diagnosed at 40 or 10 or birth or whatever. Everybody has that moment where they can choose to say, like, I don't even like to say it out loud either. Over the last 10 or 20 years, I have stopped saying I have, and I'll say I was diagnosed with, right? So I was diagnosed with hydrocephalus at 2 weeks old. Like that's how I'll say it, because I don't claim it as something that I have. And so, and furthermore, I have actually gone through some things like what you have done to heal yourself. And so God willing, I will never have to have another brain surgery for hydrocephalus again because of what I had, stepped through with some of this stuff. And so I am totally on board with what you're saying here. And I know that it's a leap for a lot of people, but oh man, it doesn't have to be.
Thank you for sharing, Jeff. And the reason, there are a million reasons for that. Yeah. Okay. And we can talk about, and again, I don't want to offend nobody. Yeah. Okay. And it might go to rub a little bit uncomfortable to some people.
Right.
To heal ourselves organically, it's take a lot of work.
Yes.
It's take willingness to look at ourselves in the mirror and to see what we see, not what we want to see. It's take work. It's to people looking at people that have some kind of sickness or invisible condition or visible condition, whatever it is, they looking at them differently. They giving up. They have a slack. There's a lot of things that we get because we have a certain condition that the rest of the world, hey, we expect from everybody to do 10, but because you have this condition, if you do 2, we will, it's as equal as 10 to anybody else. So we're getting a lot of pass into life.
Yeah.
And we have to give this up. I used to have a handicap sign in my car.
Oh.
Because I couldn't walk, So my doctor filled up the paper and said, Joel, will make it easier for you. And I couldn't call this a handicap. Like I told my kids, this is my VIP parking pass. This is how we treat it.
Yeah.
And one day I say, I can't use it anymore. Because every time that they put it on the mirror of the windshield for the car, it's remind me that I'm a handicap. In a sense, I surrender to that, and I threw it away. And my kids were really upset because they didn't. For them, it was great. We can park wherever we want. Right. Now all of a sudden we have to walk more. But for me, it took so much, and it was painful to walk. But it's just like this is just one little thing of. Society will allow us to do things by surrendering to our circumstances, and this is just one little thing. The people that, again, if somebody's getting any assistance from the government, I'm not. Hopefully, get me on the right.
No,
I'm not. I don't want to offend nobody. When my doctor told me, Joel, go to the Social Security. We will fill up the papers. I will sign the papers for you. You can get money from the government. Yeah. And for me, it was. I said I will never do that. Never. I will never, because this will be a complete surrender to my situation. Yeah. But there are people that have to. I had businesses that I ran, so I really didn't need the money. And again, if somebody does get assistance from the government, please don't take it away from me. But for me, it was like I'm refusing to do that because I believe, and this is to the word of hope. I hope at that point I knew it wasn't even a hope. I knew I will heal myself. I just did not know how. Yeah. So what I do when I'm going back to your question is I support people to find the moment in their life when their life got kidnapped by the energy of fear, and from that moment and on, we are surviving, we're reacting to life. We can create from the energy of fear. Now, it doesn't mean that everything that we do is bad, but there is no fulfillment.
Right.
I built multiple businesses to myself and never had a desire to be a business owner. Never, like the only reason that I built businesses it's because I say, if I own my own business, nobody will ever tell me, Joel, you need to read this report. You need to fill up the report. Nobody will tell me what to do. So my secret of not knowing how to read and write will never be out there because nobody will tell me what to do if I own the business. This is the only reason, Jeff, that I start my business career.
Yeah.
That some people want to make money. Some people want to invent. All what they want to do is to keep my secret as a secret.
Wow.
So there's a lot of ripple effects that happen from this moment that our life getting kidnapped by fear. So where I help people is help them to get to this moment. Get complete with the energy, because this energy is still staying. You say, hey, look, Joel, this happened when you were 7 years old. Why are you still dealing with this today? Because this moment never got complete.
Yeah.
Now, for me, it just came complete, but for other people, I help them to get complete with that moment. And then all of a sudden, they can start they have a choice. Doesn't mean that they immediately getting it, but now they're getting it. They understand that they have a choice. Do I want to react as I've been using all my life, or I want to create as a new way of living life?
Yeah. Awesome. It's true. It's just a mindset shift is what it is, but it's so hard for some people. And it was hard for me too. I mean, I was a tough nut to crack, man, to shift that mindset. So it's not easy for everybody, but the cool thing is now you're doing stuff that's so beneficial with people. And it's And that's part of the reason that I wanted to have you come on here because I mean, we've had this on the screen the whole show here, impact health sharing, and I know that's part of one of the things that you're doing, and I wanted to just touch on that because I know there's people out there. I know you're out there. I know there's people listening out there that are going, yes, that's me. I have this invisible condition. Like me personally, Joel, I don't think I'll ever be able to get life insurance unless I want to pay thousands of dollars a month for it. Life insurance is not a thing for me. Health insurance is difficult for me. You know, it's with people with conditions, with invisible conditions, with lifelong things, with even if you've gotten past it and you don't, you know, it still lingers in the medical world, right? So what do people do in that situation? There's, you know, for a lot of people, this is a solution, you know, impact health sharing. So can we dive into that for just a second? Just that's been on the screen. I want to address it and let people know.
Absolutely. So as I share, you know, I do have multiple businesses that I'm involved in, and I'm doing a lot of things. One of the things that really touched my heart when I was introduced to impact health sharing is the nonprofit approach, but truly nonprofit approach of helping people in the healthcare industry. Now, it's a health sharing program. It's a replacement to a traditional health insurance. Not like anything else, it's not for everybody, but for the people that it's a right fit, bring them tremendous amount of value. And I will go over a few values that this program bringing in. For the most people are healthy. You know, 85% of the people in the United States are not spending their deductible a year. Like they just have it just in case.
Yeah.
And so most people, but they're paying a lot of money for the just in case. Yeah. Okay. So we are able to save anywhere between 30 to 50%. I believe that by next year, as the health insurance costs will go sky high, and obviously we all know what's going on in the government right now, and these prices will go up. I believe our saving will be up to 70%.
Yeah.
And so we're able to help them to save money. Okay. We have no network, so people can go to, God forbid something does happen, they can go to any doctor that they want to go to in the country.
Yeah.
This is some of the values that we have, where the doctors see the value for that. Why doctors like to accept that. And sometimes the doctor needs some education because it's considered a fairly new concept. So where they like it is, first of all, they're getting paid in an average of 16 days. Usually insurance companies take them up to 12 months to pay them. So they like to get paid quickly.
Jeez.
However, where the most value that the doctors and the patients see is that for us, if a doctor say, hey, we need to do A, B, C, D, okay, we will never tell them what to do. Okay, this is what you want to do. This is what Impact will pay for. Today, to a traditional insurance, the doctors say, hey, we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's reach out to your insurance company to make sure that they give us the authorization to do that. Usually the insurance company will say, hey, what is the cheapest way out? Not what is the best way for the patient. With us, because it's really nonprofit organization, we will never say, hey, this is cheaper. No, this is what you want to do. This is what you believe it's the right thing to do for the patient. Do whatever you need to do, and we will pay for that. So this is the points that really the value of that. Do we have more time? Can I say one?
We got plenty of time. Go for it.
And you know, I know that you and your wife and myself, we talked about it. So for families like yourself, that there is somebody that has some health issues, traditional insurance will increase the price for all the family because somebody in the family have a health issue. So now all of a sudden, the wife or the husband, the children, whoever is healthy, paying a lot of money for the insurance because the insurance company needs to make up what they're losing on the individual.
Yeah.
With us, we are a great answer for the healthy people in the family. So now we don't literally break the family, but from the insurance point of view, we are breaking the family. So the person that have an issue, we help them to find a traditional insurance that go to give them the coverage. And the rest of the family, they can actually be in our program. And this is how we can save a lot of money to the family, because not all the healthy people in the family have to pay based on the person in the family that is not healthy. So there is a lot. It's a really, really unique program, and helping people, just helping people. I help people saving thousands of dollars a month, and it's real money. It's not a maybe one. It's I help a family saving over $2,000 a month a couple of weeks ago. This is money. This is not this is a mortgage payment. This is a car payment. It's a lot of money.
I mean, my wife's company that she used to work for 26 years, she was there, and she they would highly subsidize the insurance, and so people don't even know what they're paying anymore. I mean, if you're part of a company and you get laid off or something like that, like, it's a shock. You look in the marketplace and go, oh my Lord, look at what they were covering, and so it can be a rude awakening. So health sharing can be a really cool option that can cost you a ton less money in that way. So
to your point, Jeff, some people, like, one of the questions that people ask when they're applying for a job, what are the benefits? Some people, and I know you and I had this conversation about your wife, like, some people don't quit a job or don't go to the job of their dream or don't go to become entrepreneurs because this golden handcuff of health insurance keep them working in a job that if you're talking to somebody and ask them how is your job and say it's okay, but let me tell you about the benefit, they're not happy there. They're just there because they need to get their health insurance.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, for a fraction of the cost, it's giving them freedom to be happy. I mean, we only live once in this lifetime. Depends of how you look at life. But in this lifetime, we only live once. We might as well do something that makes us happy.
Right. Yeah, exactly. If you're, and that's why I'm so excited about what I get to do for a living and what you get to do for a living, and what my wife gets to do for a living now. She recently became a full-time entrepreneur, launched her business full-time over this year, and it's so cool, and it's such a shift sometimes for some people. But you're right, man. Life's too short to be cooped up somewhere working for somebody just because they're giving you a little bit of a cost break on going to the doctor. That should not be your deciding factor, really. I don't think. But yeah, there's so many options out there. So,
but a lot of people choosing jobs, staying in jobs, or staying in marriages. And again, I'm not.
Oh no, I hear you.
I'm not going to say, hey, get divorced, but there's a lady.
No.
There's a lady that actually I was able to give her a prize for our program. She signed up for the program, and I would say, "How are you feeling?" She said, "Great."
Yeah.
And she said, "I can get divorced." She said, "I can get divorced now."
I mean, it's true. I mean, if that's the option that you want to go, we're not encouraging it or anything. But if
don't stay married just because your husband or your wife have a good health insurance. But this was her response to that. And again, I'm not encouraging. No, you do you, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
But I'm just sharing this story of how it's capturing our lifestyle, just having the right insurance, and we need to be covered, but we don't need to pay arm and a leg for that. There are affordable ways to do it. She chose, and again, I don't know what she ended up doing. Hopefully, she either got divorced and happy, or hopefully worked on their marriage, and whatever she ended up doing, I hope for her family that they are joyful. But think about it: people getting jobs based on the health insurance, people stay married based on the health insurance. This is not what life is about. Right.
It's true, man. I'm so glad we got to talk about that and get that out there, because I'm sure there's people out there that are in that boat, So, we got about time flies when you're having fun, man. We got about 3 minutes left. So, what would you like to leave our audience with in the last 2 or 3 minutes, Joel?
Well, this is a deep question. I don't have the answer in 3 minutes. And look for joy. Look for joy. You know, Jeff. Every time when you call me and when we talk, Joel, how you doing? My response is, I'm joyful. Be joyful. And it's not mean that every moment in my life is joyful. And it does mean that every moment in my life there is something to be joyful for. Don't wait for life to be perfect to be joyful. Life is perfect today. And you can be joyful today. And you can be joyful right here, right now, this second, no matter what you're struggling with. Yeah. There is something to be joyful. The fact that you actually can listen to this show right now, it's meant that you're alive.
Yeah.
And this is something to be joyful for, because if we're alive, we have hope. We can create something. So
yeah.
Next time when somebody asks you, how are you doing? Say, I am joyful.
Love that.
And not because everything in your life is perfect, because there's something in your life is perfect, and this is what you choose to look at. So be joyful, my friend.
I love it. People say happiness all the time. I hear people talk about happiness. Happiness is circumstantial. Happiness is fleeting day to day. Joyful is an internal decision.
For sure.
That can be lifelong. You know,
vibration, joy, and love are the same height of vibration. God is love. And again, we did not talk about God, but wherever you are, like, this is the highest vibration that we can be. Yeah. So my invitation to everybody that listen, and you gave me 3 minutes to give you what I learned from this life, is be joyful.
Be joyful. It's perfect. That sums it up, man. It's good. That's perfect. I appreciate it, Joel. Thank you so much for being here, man. I always love having conversations with you. I'm so glad we got to do this and get this conversation to our audience. Thank you so much for everything you're doing, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate you very much. Thank you very much, my friend.
All right. Man, I love this guy. All right. Maybe he'll be back. Maybe we'll have to come back. He'll have to come back again and talk more about other stuff that he's doing, because he's not wrong. He's got a whole lot of stuff that he does. It's all amazing. So I can't wait for him to come back. It'll be fun. So, all right, everybody, listen up. I'm thankful for you, all of you. Thank you for watching, no matter where you're watching. If you're watching Facebook, YouTube, E360, wherever you are, I hope you enjoyed this today, and I hope you commented on it, because I know that for a lot of you, this time of year is the time of year where they go, oh, crap, we got to decide on what we're going to do for health coverage and for the coming year, right? So we're right in that time right now. So anybody that is, struggling with that, I know the name of there it is, but the QR code lights up. You can still scan the QR code, have a conversation with Joel, have a conversation with the folks at Impact, and see what's going on. See if that would work for you. I think health sharing is an amazing thing and such an amazing concept. So check it out. And that's why we have that commercial on our show, because I believe so highly in that. I want people to be able to access it. So it's going away, but it'll be in the link will be in the show notes. So here we go. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Join us for our next episode. By the way, if you're watching on social media, you know the drill. Like and follow and subscribe and share and all the things. If this is your new favorite episode, thank you. Share it with somebody. It might be theirs too. So join us for our next show on, oh my gosh, I think it's Veterans Day. Our next show is going to be on November 11th, which I think is Veterans Day. So Tuesday, November 11th, join us for another amazing show, and I will look forward to seeing you there. Until then, have an amazing day. We'll see you soon.